Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Moving the Magnets. How are we all feeling? Jump in, get involved. What are we saying? Ooh, that's a hot tea. Got my tea ready in the Magpies cup. Shout out Chris, getting that for me. Where are we at? What are we saying? Chris, Anthony from Perth. Let's go Pies. Up and about. Very much so. No Caleb today, unfortunately. Where are we at? Who's in the chat? Say g'day. Hello. Moving the Magnets. Extended teams tonight, and then final teams tomorrow. So we'll revisit this tomorrow night as well. A couple days out against North. Nitin Shada, hey mate. Hey, how you going? I haven't seen your name in the chat before, I don't think. Are you new to the channel? If so, welcome. And if so, how did you come across the channel? I'm interested. Where are we at? Bit cold out there today. Fitting to have this tea right now as well. Grays. Jacko, how you going? What's for dinner, mate? It was tacos on Sunday. Taco Sunday. What is it tonight? Is it spag bowl, spaghetti bolognese, chicken parma? What else is there? What's another nostalgic fundamental dinner? Yes, Benny. Yeah. Saw you in True Footy collab and thought, why not check your videos out? Benny, good afternoon. 7:45 in New Zealand right now, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, I'm Indian-born, Australian, mad footy and Magpie fan. That's awesome. You picked the right team. You picked the right team, Nitin. That's for sure. Taco Thursday, Jacko. How can you run Taco Sunday and Taco Thursday in the same week? Is that a violation? Yo, Anthony, left early last time. Won't be on for long tonight. No dramas, mate. It means enough for you to come in and say g'day. So I appreciate it. How are you, anyways? Do you have work today? Are you at uni, Cream? Are you Melbourne based? That's obviously Cream is your alias name. What's your name if you want to disclose that? I'm following Pi since 2008. Yeah. Well, that's a good time to come across because we were just coming out of a little rebound from a rebuild amidst Nathan Buckley seeing his way out. Pendlebury, side bottom, Dale Thomas were just heating up. And then 2009, Dave Beams came in. And then 2010, I think we know the rest of the story there. Pizza, nice. Jacko, what are you indulging in? Do you like a margarita? Is it a pepperoni? I'm a pepperoni guy. Don't mind Hawaiian. I'm not entirely opposed to some pineapples on pizza. Whether you love it or hate it, I'm here for it. What's your ethnicity? I'm half Greek, half Mauritian. My mum's side is Greek and my dad's side is Mauritian, and they speak Creole, which is like, I think they would say it's a French dialect. Is what they say. Can I speak Creole or French? Unfortunately not. I wish I did. Hey, bro. David, what's going on, mate? How are you? I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. You new to the channel, David? If so, how did you come across it? I'm always ears with this. I find it fascinating to find out how people come across the content. Margarita. Yeah, can't go wrong. Margarita with some olives on it is a quietly nice little addition to a margarita. Meat lovers or Supreme for pizza. Geez, there's sort of a bit of a contrast there. Meat lovers is all out, and Supreme, one of my least favorite, to be honest. The capsicum throws me off. I don't know what it is. It just throws me off. The guys, if you haven't been here before, teams come out at 6:20 for extended teams, and we'll dissect from there and just have a conversation and see how it goes. Daniel Dukovic. Also a half Mauritian man here. Other half is Croatian. Yeah, it's an interesting combination, similar to mine, Greek and Mauritian, Croatian, Mauritian. It's mum's side, dad's side. Are you from Melbourne, Daniel? G'day, Anthony. Luke, how you going? What's news? We don't have the bye next week. Silly Chris. We got the bye this week and next week, Paul. This week and next week. Here we go. Been watching you, man, for a while. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thanks, David. How are you guys enjoying? I've made more of an effort to make my videos longer when it comes to previews and reviews, so that you guys can sit down and almost have a tea, have your dinner, watch it on TV or via your phone or watch it in bits and pieces. How are you finding that? I find it quite enjoyable just waffling to the camera, and I can easily get myself beyond 30 minutes, as you probably would have seen if you guys have watched the North Melbourne vs Collingwood preview that I posted earlier today. Thanks, mate. Name's Karim, but you can call me Maz. Yeah, Vic based up in the northern suburbs. On holidays right now, just waiting for my bounce license. Been a solid 3-month wait. Nice, man. Nice. So will you be on the streets of Chapel, guarding some of the nightclubs there? Are you like shopping center or you said bouncer, so it'd be either like a pub or a nightclub, right? Or are there clubs in the northern suburbs? I have to push through dinner while watching. Anything to watch this legend? Thanks, Jacko. You're a legend, mate. You're one of the goats of the streams. Appreciate it. Whenever I have dinner, I just watch your videos. Cool, bro. I'm here for it, man. So Maz Kareem. Not Kareem, Karem. Or is it like Cream, like your name on YouTube? I wonder. I'm hearing Collingwood trade targets, Bailey Smith, Josh Battle. Yeah, all within talks. There's, you know what? Collingwood have a nice, fair old wish list. And guys, I mentioned the trade system is changing, which allows us to trade future first-round picks if needed. So it's an opportunity for clubs to burn or use trades well in the future to buy for now, for the present. And that's why Bailey Smith, Josh Battle, Ned Moyle, Tom Barrass, Harrison Petty, Oscar Allen, Elliot Yeo, these players are all viable options with these new rules changing very soon. Paul, for dinner, I'm going to a Greek restaurant called Little Athens. We'll go there and have some gyros or some souvlakia, something like that. Something like that. What else have we got? So yeah, 6:20 teams release tomorrow. I think 6:20 again, if anybody knows more than that. Yeah, Nitin, if we trade our future draft pick, how can we get Thomas McGuan? I mean, at the end of the day, we just need to match the points that he will cost. So we don't necessarily have to give away a first-round pick. I'm assuming we'll probably have to if he's going to be a top 5 star, but we'll make it happen. We're certain that we'll find ways to get someone like Thomas McGuan in the side, and he's a must. He's been unreal in his bottom age year for the TAC Cup at Western Jets as a bottom ager, averaging about 25 disposals at the moment. Son of Nick McGuan, 1990 Premiership star / legend. Let's see here. Oh, no, Kareem is just for fun. My mate's made up for a laugh. Not fuss what he called me. Bouncer's license, just a joke. I hope that'll be just a joke. I hope that I'll be working at Marvel Security. No, nice. I'm good, man. Thanks for asking. I'm good. Just grinding, bro. I've been loving the streams. Actually, this was an element to YouTube that I didn't think I would delve into, and it's quickly become the most favorite part to the content creation, in my opinion. Let's go. Where is Little Athens? Well, it's not in Greece. It's in Carnegie, near Chadstone. Great show. Love your knowledge about the game. Hey, Peter, man, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your support. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Just I'm so grateful that you guys are here. Imagine having Tom McGuan and Baslan in our midfield along with Nakos. It would be. And that's the beauty of all this extensive wish list we have right now. That's the beauty of it. Ella, Retikanis Yasugamoto. What's going on, Manny? Buisere. What area are you from, Manny? How old are you? What's your story? All I know is Manny is a in another lifetime. He's a TV salesperson because he breaks he breaks one TV per week whenever Collingwood is on. Random thought: do you think Nick Dacos would be a sub? Put him on for the second half. Just a random thought. If he didn't play, I wouldn't be upset. You know what? I see that, but if he's if they were to do that because of his injury niggle, I just wouldn't play him. I wouldn't play him. I'd get Harry Demeter in and TJ, give more midfield time to Bo McCreary. He didn't play any midfield against Melbourne, whereas in the weeks before he had played. So maybe Bo can take up some more midfield time. Patrick Lipinski, Josh Dacos can roll through there as well. Here we go. Thomas Guan is our father's son product. He plays like Zach Merritt last week and good in clearance. Yeah, and some great IQ from what I've heard. Have you watched him play, Nitin? Where have you seen Thomas McGuan? Do you go watch his games at Western Jets? I know he's going to play for his dad's team in the Eastern District Footy League at some point this year. Will Kruger play? 100%. 100%. To quote Michael Jordan, I'm back. Also ripped Jerry West. 86 is great innings. Did Jerry West pass away today? Wow. Chicken or lamb? Oh, I just go mixed. I just play it safe. Go mixed. Because if I get chicken in my gyros, I'm upset that I didn't get lamb. And if I get lamb, I'm upset that there's no chicken in there. Saw Manny on Swoop stream last night. What was Swoop stream last night? Was that Footy Abroad? Or did he do a live stream on something else? Goaler game Husk, told you, he's been killing it. He's been killing it. South Australian Collingwood supporter, 44 years old. Very nice. Very nice, Manny. Good man. Men or woman? Woman for me, Paul. I have a girlfriend. Yes, Jared. Digsby, did you see me on Footy Abroad? I jumped in. I did jump in. What minute mark was Manny on Footy Abroad? I want to know. I'll go have a look. I want to go see the man. I want to see him work his magic. Manny, come on to the fucking post-game show, mate. Come show your face on our stream as well. Come have a chat. Yeah, that's a shame, Digsby. Must have been an older stream of Swoop. Which one, Manny? How many weeks ago? Yep. Any chance of Harry Demeter or Tujath making a debut? I reckon McInnes will replace Bytel next. I think Bytel will be out. Nick is unfit. McInnes played a bit of midfield, quite a bit of midfield in the VFL, so maybe he rolls through there. It was a live chat. Oh, okay. Saw your mug of Footy Abroad. What do you think, Woody? I was a bit nervous, mate, going into it. It was unusual. Bit nervous. AFL needs a collective boo for not having any footy tonight. Facts. Of all the languages you can speak, Jimbo, you chose facts tonight. I remember Kev's Magpies on the Footy Abroad stream on Tuesday. Yeah, Kev's tried to jump into the post-game show, but he had some reception issues. So we'll get him on hopefully after the North Melbourne game. How you going, Woody? How's work going, Mr. Mortgage Broker? Love Thursday night footy, but primetime Saints, Ross Ball, yuck. Not ideal. We need flares, man. We need something. Like, yeah, I don't know what it's going to take. I think Aussies is just so reluctant to copy other cultures, but it would be, I don't know, like, I feel like if we did introduce proper chants and soccer-like environments or EuroLeague basketball environments into the footy, I think there'll be one incident where someone throws a flare or there's a fight that stems out from it. The media will have a fucking field day, and then that will be the end of it. When you do fan cams, it doesn't let me join. Heads up. Why is that? Do you use your computer, phone? Have you tried different techs? Technically still on the clock till 6. Don't tell the boss, mate. Don't tell the boss. The Carlton fan could talk, couldn't she? Yeah, Lucinda, she's lovely. Yeah, she knows how to talk. She could talk to a brick wall and not get exhausted. I think that's that's the angle I'm coming at. Loves to talk. So we love that. She seems like a very passionate Carlton supporter and she loves the Blue Abroad show. So it's good for her. Haha, legit. Got some opinions. Got some opinions that last. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. I like asking this question every now and then. What does everyone do for work? What does everyone do for work? What are we doing on a Monday to Friday? I love your channel, bud. Good luck. It was nice chatting with you. I am tracking Draft Plus with. Okay. Yep. Yep. Good to know. Thanks for jumping in and having a chat, Natine. Always good to see new people in the chat. Have a good night. How good was Kruger? Fuck, unreal. Guys, also, in a couple minutes, we'll watch Braden Maynard's press conference because he's got his 200th game coming up on Sunday against North. So we'll get that going in a couple minutes before the teams come out. I kind of like that North won leading into our game. Why do I like that? Because there's a little bit of a narrative. Now there's something to talk about. Gives a little bit of juice to the story. I want to see North have a crack in that first quarter against Collingwood. I think it's because I'm scared and turn off. Don't be scared, mate. There's nothing to be afraid of. Look at me. Harmless. I mean, I'm so harmless. I have this terror of a dog. Terror. Like, you see me and then you see my pet, you better walk the other way. Good night, Natine. Have a good one. We'll see you on Sunday for Braden's or the Braz's 200th. What else have you guys got for me? 28 in the chat. Where are we at? What are we saying? Getting through this tea. I'm a support coordinator for the NDIS. So, yeah, people with disabilities, I find them support work. I find them allied health therapists, whether it's like an OT or a psychologist. So if you have Parkinson's, it might be a neurophysiotherapist, all that sort of stuff. I'm like the middleman. I hold the relationships between the stakeholder and the client. And I build rapport with the client. I make sure they don't overspend their plan as well. I use my phone whenever I've talked to the champs. Just be yourself. They don't bite. Exactly. Words of wisdom, Ben. I have a feeling Kruger will get injured against North. Touch wood, it doesn't. Touch wood. Don't do that to me, Steve. Don't do that. Swark with swoop so far. First one up. Have a look 1 year ago. Hold on. Oh, okay. Do you remember what round it was, Manny? And I'll have a look. And you're the first one up 1 year ago. Give me the round and I'll have a look after this stream. I want to see my TV salesperson in action. What's this? Dog breakfast? Something about the dogs. Stephen, when do teams come out? 6:20? We'll have the extended teams. Yeah, there. Cream just mentioned it. Comes out. That's brilliant, brother. Must be a rewarding job. Yeah, it's rewarding. At the same time, I say this respectfully, like it's just work at the end of the day. You have to turn off your emotions when you're working with people with disabilities because they're so troubled. And if you let it get to your head, it can be overwhelming. Hopefully, at some point, guys, this will be a full-time endeavor. But for now, it's a side hustle. And I'm loving it. So much so that I've taken the back burner off my footy. I really penciled in this year as a big footy year for me, getting back into it. And now I'm taking the foot off the pedal and putting the foot on the accelerator of the YouTube hustle. I reckon Demetil will debut as a sub and replaced by... It'll be interesting because TJ was the unused emergency for the game against the Demons. But with Dimitier's performance being an MVP performance in the VFL, you could make the case that Dimitir will jump ahead of TJ. But at the same time, it's like it depends who's going to play where. Would be interested to see Bytel hold his place to get games in before finals in case we need him. But if he's out, I reckon we can just in. It's an interesting one. I feel like there's a lot of players in that category where we'd like to see them hold their position and start and have more of an opportunity. But when you're in a reigning premiership side, you don't have that luxury. And that's just the nature of being in a side like that, unfortunately. Oleg was working with people with disabilities before he came back to footy. He's a great bloke. Yes. I forget what the company's called because I always come across it in my job. They have quite a few, if I'm not mistaken, they have quite a few AFL players that are actually, or ex-AFL players that are supporting people with disabilities. Hope Pendles isn't hurt in that Gold Coast game. I feel like the turf is dodgy and hurt the bicep again. I reckon it's a cover-up. I don't think he hurt his bicep in the game. He hurt it doing bicep curls in the gym, 100%. Want to help me do some stuff and some end of year stuff? Got to do a similar sheet to what I showed you before the quarter season review, but think I found a better way. I'm all ears, man. I'm keen. Anything for you, brother. Anything for you, Woody. I'm happy to jump on your channel. You can jump on my channel, either or. You just give us the ideas. Just give us the ideas. Okay. I reckon it'll be the same lineup as last week with Dimitir in. He would be a great sub as he could play half back, wing, half forward. Fair call, Lockie. How will our forward line look when we go back? It's the $1 million question, Steve. There's a lot to consider when that time comes around. As of right now, Kruger, McStay, Myercheck. And then your small forwards fill the rest and have another small forward on the bench. Or have Kruger on the bench, Myercheck and McStay starting. That's how I go about it. Sorry, had to hop off for a minute to go. No worries, Jacko. Mate, you eat up. Enjoy that margarita. Have you got a Coke Zero or a water, a soda water with you to wash it down? Can you burp it out? I can't burp, guys. So when I eat food and drink carbonated drinks, I can't burp. I literally cannot burp. I think I have to get this. It's something called like throat detox if I want to be able to burp. I literally do not have the physical ability to burp. 19th of April. Hold on, Manny. Let me get my trustful log out. I'm going to put that right here. 19th of April, 23. Squawk with Swoop. And we're going to watch this TV salesperson work his magic. Done, brother. Done, Woody. Done. Easy. I think Cox would have to work his way back. I agree, Lockie. I think he's going to have to work his way back. Let's start a vote for prefers the 2022 traditional way strip. Nick wearing in your graphic V currently with the white collar and pipes, which, yeah. Yeah. So that's the one that Nick Dacos is wearing is the older one that we like. Is that right, Luke? If so, I agree. Imagine how scary our team will be after all these injuries. We could do a 2018 prelim, but against the Swans. Yep, 100%. Just come back at the right time and do a number on them. Let's go, champ. Chris Cassette in the chat, my younger brother. Hoskin Elliott out of the square to run the Roos ragged. Core is a spud anyway. Yeah, Core is an interesting one. He's on a serious contract with the Roos as well somehow. Guys, let's get Braden Maynard on the screen. Bruzzy, the Bruz. Yep. There you go, Luke. Guys, we're going to put on Bruzzy. We're going to hear from Bruzzy now. Share screen. The Bruz. The self-proclaimed Bruz. Give me one sec, guys. All right. Let me know if you guys can hear it.
200 club sit with you.
Yeah, obviously pretty proud and pretty stoked to
run out there for my 200th game. But, there's obviously a lot of people along the way that have helped me get there. A lot of conversations early days that have helped me shape me into the man I am, and to be able to achieve 200 games with some of the people alongside me, I'm very happy and very grateful.
Did you always have the confidence that you'd make it as a player and you'd get to these heights, or was there some doubt early?
Quite a bit of confidence, but there was a little bit of doubt. I didn't really have my work-to-life balance in order, but like I said, I had a few conversations early days that helped me shape me into the man I am today and helped me sort of get here. So I really grateful, really honoured to be able to run out there for this great club for the 200th time. I mean, hopefully there's a lot more games in me, but very proud and can't wait to get out there. It's going to be a good game.
Sorry, mate. What flipped it for you in the sense? Tell us about those conversations. Is there one particular one that stands out?
Yeah, just maturity growing up. I think when you sort of come out of school straight into the AFL system, it's sort of hits you between the eyes pretty quickly, and you've got to grow up pretty fast. I didn't really go too well at school, so football was sort of my one wood, and I had to give it the biggest crack and had to really give everything to football, and I think I have so far, and I've got a lot more to give. So, early days, a bit questionable, but always knew I had the competitive side to get better, and I feel like that's helped me get to where I am today.
How do you reflect on 199 games? What have you learned across that journey as well?
I think just to not take it so seriously. There's a lot more to life than football. I mean, when Fly sort of came in, we've had this really sort of relaxed and fun culture that's helped. I'm not saying any other sort of culture I've been a part of wasn't fun, but especially and in particularly this sort of group, we've had a lot of fun in what we do, and we come in here, we really enjoy each other's company, and I love coming in every day. It's something I love doing, and running out there with all the boys and some of your best mates it's great fun, and I'm looking forward to doing it this Sunday.
And you look like you're taking it more seriously than anyone else when you're out there on match day.
It's a bit of white line fever. I do get pretty angry and pretty aggressive when I cross that white line, but that's just a part of who I am, and I wouldn't want it any other way. And I don't think I'd be here today if I didn't have that sort of balance between when I'm off the field relaxing, big gentle giant, but then when I cross it, I'm a different beast. So if I didn't have that balance, I don't know where I'd be.
So completely different off the field than you are on?
You can ask a few of the boys that question, but I think it's quite a big difference in the way I go about it off field.
How does it? Sorry, Greg, you go.
I was going to say, so game 200 is probably has been easy for you compared with game 199. Can you talk a little bit about last week, the build up to that game, and then the day itself in all its context?
There was a bit of a build up. I actually tried to stay off social media because I knew everything would pop up again. So I did quite well in that sense. But to get booed every time I got the ball, but then the Magpie Army come over, those boos and give a big cheer, it did mean a lot. So thank you, Magpie Army. But I mentioned it post game in the presser that if we didn't have a crowd sort of getting involved in the game, then what would the game be? So it's all part of the game, and I love it.
Does it make you stronger, that voice, that crowd support there?
I guess to some extent, you sort of got to narrow your focus in and lock into your teammates and do what's best for your team. So I think I did that pretty well, and it showed with a great result.
Did you expect them to come at you a bit more, physically come at you at the start of the game?
I didn't know really what to expect. I knew the fans were going to come for me. I wasn't too sure about the players, but I guess the result's the result. They didn't come after me as much as I thought they probably would, but it is what it is. We need to move on now.
Those being that love-hate player, it's a pretty good list. Guys like Braden and Carey in the past, like hated by opposition but loved by your fans. Are you feeling like you're going to have to wear that for the rest of your career now?
I don't really like being hated by the other fans, but I can see why they do hate me. But I promise I'm a good guy. I'm a great guy. But the only thing that really matters to me is what my teammates and the club thinks to me, and I know within the four walls that I think I've got a great amount of respect, and I love everyone at this club, so that's all that matters to me. I don't really pay attention to any of the outside noise, so I think I'm in a pretty good place.
Is that something that you embrace, being the player that feel like all your teammates love to have a team like you, whereas maybe, as you say, the opposition maybe don't love seeing it either?
Yeah, well, the guys that I run out with every week are the guys I play for, and they play for me as well. So, sort of all-in mentality. And when we play with each other, we play for each other, and that's why we're such a great group. And you've clearly seen we've had a few injuries over the last sort of month or so, but whoever's come in has played their role to a T, and it's so fun being out there, especially when you don't have your best team in, but you're sort of playing the best football as a collective that you can do. So, the results are showing, so I'm really proud of the boys.
Are you getting back to that? Are you feeling back to last year's levels of that spiritual side of the game and also knowing your roles and playing them?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like everyone's doing a really good job in knowing what they have to do, and it's clearly showing when the next man up sort of mentality is shown that everyone's coming in and playing their role for the team. So, like I said, I'm really proud and stoked to see each individual playing to their strengths and doing really well, because it puts a smile on my face and puts a smile on theirs. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what we can sort of do going forward, because I feel like we're just getting started.
I imagine your proudest moment, I'm sure your proudest moment in Johnny Jones is the premiership. So what's your next proudest achievement?
Next proudest? Well, I can't go past the premiership. But there's been quite a few close games that we've been a part of that I've loved being involved in. But I think just like footy in general, coming into such a safe environment, such a great environment that I can call home and work, and playing footy for a living, we do have it pretty well. And I've had a bit of stuff going on outside of football, which has made me realise that football is not everything, and there's a lot more to football. So I've got great people around me, but I think you can say the premiership was one of the best memories that will be there forever. But I think just coming in every day and seeing everyone and seeing the staff and seeing your best mates is the best thing. Like, everyone, win, lose or draw, everyone's always happy, having great fun. So that's the culture we've built, and that's what I love the most. Yeah, definitely some of the close games.
Have you had a chance to look at North Melbourne this weekend? They're obviously coming off the back of their first win of the season.
They had a really good win. I was actually watching. My brother actually works there, so there's a bit of a competitive side in the family in that sense. But they played some really good footy. They got their first win, which was good to see. We've got a few mates that play for North, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But obviously they're playing some good football, so we got to bring our best like we always do. So just do what we've been doing.
Anyone in particular at North that you may be trading a few barbs with during the week?
Curtis and Cam, Curtis Taylor and Cam Zerha, they're quite close, so it'll be interesting to see if they have anything to say. But really good fellas. I've got a great amount of respect for North.
How's Nick's leg, Dacos?
You're gonna have to ask him. I think he's fine. I think he'll be right to get up, but he's tough.
You're likely to get quite a few back in the coming weeks after the break. Does that just give you so much confidence going forward that you've got, going to be some selection headaches, which is a good thing?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good thing. And we've had that next man up mentality that I said before. But, to get some of the older boys back sort of post-bye, there is going to be a push for selection, but it's a good headache for the coaches. So I'm looking forward to sort of seeing what we can provide going forward with already the team that we have in playing some really good football. So it's exciting.
What does it do for you seeing guys like Nathan Kruger come in and step up the way he did and lead you forward? Like, it's been so decimated. Can he be an answer going forward as well?
Absolutely, he can. He's a crowd favourite, Krugs. I love the way he goes about it. He just crash and bash, and if you get in his way, he's coming through you. So I love the aggression that he plays with, and he's very tough and just goes for everything. So I love the way he goes about it. And
all right, guys, we'll call that there because we're a few minutes away from the teams coming out, the extended team. So we'll just get through a few comments before that. Chris says Cox won't find his way back into the side. I mean, we'll see with Kruger's form. He started well. If Kruger plays well, then you'd have to imagine Cox doesn't get a game, especially if McStay's back in the picture. Bruzzy, just water for Jacko. Stay hard, says David Goggins. I reckon there's going to be selection headaches with our small forwards, Elliott, Bowe, Hill, Richards, Harrison, Schultz. Someone's going to have to miss ultimate greatness, 100%. Somebody's just going to have to miss. And with Joe Richards' rapid rise in form and I guess introduction to the AFL, it definitely throws a spanner in the works. So we'll see. G'day, champs. Yorgos Tikanis, how are you? You should play the press conference. I think in the post-game show, we'll do that. Post-game show after the game. We'll get some post-game interviews into the stream. We'll share the screen. Agree. Post presses are good and transparent. Yes, we'll 100% we'll do that. Such a team, man. Bruz. You know the boys walk tall the Bruz as their bodyguard if anyone wants to rough us up. 100%. So true. He'd run through a big wall for you. Yep. I feel like he'd do that for me, and I don't even know him. Teams that come back from WA struggle to win. So on that, I believe the Pies will win big. Hopefully, it'd be nice just to get another easy win going into the bye. You'd want to be in the trenches with the Bruz, as loyal as they come, always first to stick up for the boys and scuffles. 100%. 100%. Maynard. Yep, the man. Angry Pendles even speaks like Scotty. Close. Not as concisely, but yeah. I love the name, Angry Pendles. I reckon that's what Braden Maynard is. He's an Angry Pendles. Love the Bruz. The man, the legend, the Bruz. Still plenty of footy of him, 27 years old. Maybe a switch forward. What about a switch in the midfield eventually when we need big bodies, proven big bodies? I think there's a position there for Braden Maynard in the future. Maybe a couple of years. Maybe he'll have a crack next year. Who knows? Cam Zerhardt at Collingwood confirmed in 2025 because he's good mates with Bruzzy. Maybe. I wouldn't trade him for a bag of chips though, if I'm being honest. Bruzzy, a true professional, what a great example to others. Absolutely. Cox to retire at the end of the year or next. Fair call, Steve-O. I'm not opposed to it. I think that's possible. Let me see what the AFL website is saying regarding the teams, guys. Where are we at? We're nearly there. Starhawk shuns free agency. Blake Hardwick has signed on. What about Mitch Lewis? Mitch Lewis is an interesting shout from Hawthorn. Be intrigued. What's his ETA? Let me open up the screen here. Give me one. Let me share the screen here. What is Mitchell Lewis's ETA? One sec. Because we can see. All right, cool. So Blake Hardwood signed on. I don't think Collingwood would have wanted him either way. What's the injury list saying for Hawthorn? I'd like Mitch Lewis would be good. Test. He's a test. Lewis is pushing his case to be available for the first time in 10 weeks this Saturday after dealing with a knee cartilage injury. If we can get him funders, I would love that idea. Let's see. What have we got here? Cox's last year, next season, so it could be then. Yeah, I think that's his last contracted year to be from what I've seen. Could you do a realistic best 23 when all our injured players get back? Did mine today, and it's so difficult. I will do that. I'm going to write that down. Best 23 finals or something. I'll do that because we have a bye week next week. I'm going to do a video on my predicted best 23 for Collingwood's final series. That's a great one. Thanks for that idea. Would love LDU. Would love LDU. I know he's playing really well at the moment. I just think we can get someone for a better price, like a Bailey Smith, and not have to pay a ridiculous amount for someone like LDU. Contracted till 2026. If we get Lewis, Johnson dropped. I think Johnson's dropped either way, to be fair. Are the teams out? Let's see. Matches, fixture. Let's have a look. Lineups. There we go. So, let's go lineups here. Edward Allen in. TJ in, Reef McInnes in. So that's the extended bench. So on the extended bench, we have Ed Allen, TJ, Billy Frampton, Reef McInnes, Jack Bytel, Lockie Sullivan, Harvey Harrison, and Oleg Markov. So out of that, guys, I don't think Ed Allen makes it into the team, in my opinion. I think Reef McInnes comes in, and I think TJ comes in. And I think Jack Bytel gets dropped. And I think Oleg Markov gets dropped. I think Reef McInnes will play midfield. And I think TJ, if I zoom in on this, will you guys get a better look at that? Yeah, you will. Yeah. I think TJ plays off the half back, and I think Reece McInnes might get some midfield time. And then maybe Lockie Sullivan sub. And if it's not Lockie Sullivan sub, it'll be Reece McInnes sub. So let's see here. LDU would suit the Saints more. Fair call. We'll get LDU next year, is my guess. Maybe. Bailey, yeah, I prefer Bailey Smith and then focus on a draft. I don't know. We'll see. Pendles will retire and LDU will be his replacement then next year. We're gonna have to pay a lot for LDU though. I don't think we'd have to pay as much for a Bailey Smith though. No, is LDU an unrestricted free agent? Would we have to give up anything for him? Ultimate greatness. What have North Melbourne brought in on the extended bench? So got Bryn Teakle potentially playing. That's interesting. Bryn Teakle, he tried out for us in the preseason, didn't make it. We opted for Lockie Sullivan, Jack Bytel, and Josh Eyre. And got Charlie Lazaro, Will Phillips, who's been out of the picture, I think, hasn't he? Or has he been injured? And Hardiman. Will Dawson was their early second-round pick from last year's draft. He's a key, versatile tool, injured his shoulder. Restricted free agent. Okay, so we're going to have to give something up for him, right? So Nick is clear, all clear for Sunday. Yep, seems like it. And in the interview with Bruzzy in that presser just then, leading into his 200th game, he said he reckons Nick Dacos will get over the line. Freddie. So Braden Maynard, 200th game. Freddie as in Nathan Kruger, right? Obviously. That's a good one. What do you guys think? Do you want to see TJ debut? Obviously, the obvious thing here is Harry Dimitia is not on the extended bench, which makes him maybe an emergency. So they're going to give TJ the nod before Harry Dimitia. Hey, Ultimate Greatness, do we know what time the final teams will come out tomorrow? Will it be the same time, 6:20, or will it be earlier in the day? I need to know because I want to set up the stream after this stream to talk about the final team. Don't be surprised if Keenan Phillips has more than enough Pies connections. Will Phillips from North? TJ in for Markov without hesitation. I think that's a fair call. I think it's time to see what Tujath is about off the halfback flank. Has been really good in the VFL, as you've probably seen. You've seen him at training as well. I think it's worth a crack. And I said in my preview, what better team to have youngsters come in against a North side who'll be up and about when you as a team aren't excited, aroused for a game like a low North Melbourne. Maybe you need a few debutants to come in who have a chip on their shoulder to raise the intensity and uphold that for the majority of the game. So that's what I think there. TJ in for Markov. That's a fair shout. And Reece McInnes for Jack Bytel seems like the obvious one. Ed Allen, I think he'll be the emergency, if that's the case, being on the extended bench there. Anything to note? I mean, we take the lineup with a grain of salt because it never truly matches up like that. But Finlay McRae remains in the team after a really good first half against Melbourne. I thought he played really well. We've got still side bottom coming off the halfback flank potentially, but he did play wing. Hoskin Elliott's on the wing but played forward against the D's. Lipinski, Jeremy Howe's listed forward again. Oh, well, not again, but last week he was listed forward before the game. And Billy Frampton is on the bench. And then that's your back three. Charlie Dean, Maynard, Darcy Moore. I've got a feeling Collingwood really want Charlie Dean to work out. I just don't know. I don't know yet. I think we need to see a handful more of games from Charlie Dean to really get a gauge on. Would have done Noble for Dimitia too. Dimitia has a heap of upside compared to Noble. True. I see that, but I think it would be stiff and harsh to drop John Noble at the moment. If he has another down game, you could make the case. But yeah, we've seen McRae is weary that there's a reason why he didn't play in the final series. He played every game in the regular season. There's a reason he didn't play in that final series. So there's room there to suggest that McRae is not against dropping Noble again if it needs to happen to make way for someone like Harry Dimatia. 23 disposals and a goal, VFL MVP, as dubbed by Josh Fraser, the VFL coach. So that's the case there, isn't it? What else have we got, guys? What else are we thinking? Are we happy with that? Is there anyone else we wanted to see? I mean, we don't really have a bunch of other AFL listed players that we can look into, to be fair. They're all injured. Yeah, I know Dean is rated highly internally. Spot on with the patience factor. Yeah, just got to be patient. Give him a fair shot. It's tough in a reigning premiership side. I've said it's tough. You don't have that luxury when you're trying to go back to back. You can't give players too much time. No Thursday night footy. What a fucking disgrace. I know. So instead, I'm going to go eat some souvlaki later, Manny. Got to do something, right? Keep myself occupied. Noble will play till the finals, poor bloke. Yeah, there's a chance he gets dropped, right? There's a chance. There's so many players knocking at the door. The half back flank position, a tough position to hold down because it's such an important position. And if you're not doing a job there, you'll be moved. Sidebottom got moved from it last week, probably because he didn't play well enough off the half back flank. You've got to hold that position down and be your best. Shocking, mate. Unreal, Manny. What do you do? What else can we see here? What's news from the other teams? Any teams of interest? I know obviously we're a Collingwood side, guys. I don't need to state the obvious. Is there any big games here that are important to our ladder position? The Doggies and Fremantle's probably an interesting one, right? What do they got? Alex Keith out injured, Lockie McNeil omitted, Riley Garcia omitted. Cody Waitman back in is huge. Ed Richards in. So there's some big ins. I think the Dogs beat Fremantle. I really do. I think that's fair. Dusty's 300th. Is he listed? Is Dusty listed? Dusty in. And Tom Lynch. Wow. And Dion Prestia out with a calf, it seems. CJ plays his 50th game. Brother of Tujath. Good for him. Maybe we'll drag him down to Collingwood at some point, right? Tom Lynch back. Huge. Just in time for Collingwood after the bye. How convenient. What else is here? Brisbane. I like to keep a tab on Brisbane. No changes for Brisbane. Tim Memory dropped. Okay. Dougal Howard out with another soft tissue injury. He's struggling. Wanganeen Malira being managed. Any other games that are interesting? Adelaide versus Sydney. Geez, I'd love Adelaide to get up, wouldn't we? Just to put a dwindle on Sydney's season. Isaac Rankin back in. Huge. Nick Murray, his first game back in a year after doing an ACL. Brodie Smith omitted. Geez, okay. And Will Hayward's 150th game. He's had a heck of a year. That was the infamous game, guys. That was the infamous game, Adelaide, where they kicked that goal. Ben Keys kicked that goal, and the umpire did one of these ones. He did that, and the game went on, and they lose, and they don't make finals because of that. But Sydney have got the wood over them. Adelaide need to bounce back. No Taylor Walker by the looks of it either. What do we got in the comments? Tom Lynch back. Richmond versus Hawthorn will be very close. I think so. It's a massive game. You can't not play for a man like Dusty. Thoughts on players coming back that potentially make us a slower midfield? I reckon we benefit from faster players with quicker ball movement. I think you're referring to someone like Tom Mitchell. I 100% see where you're coming from. And he's not going to be a walk-up starter. He plays well in finals-like environments because of the high contest, high stoppage game. But if other players are playing better than him, then I don't see a spot for him in the side. But we'll see. Those are the variables. But maybe I'll tell you guys a bit more when I do that best 23 for finals next week. We jump Essendon scumbags. Let's get the win and we jump them. I think Adelaide will put up a fight, but still say Swans. Fair call. The Jeff family were Pie fans before CJ went to the Hawks. There you go. So maybe CJ comes and joins the family back to where he belongs. Robbed right in front of me. Love that meme. I love that. Love that meme. That's good. What else can we look? What else do you guys want to look at? What have we got? What are the news? Starhawk. I think there's news that Elliot Yeo is a wanted man by Collingwood. Is there anything to that? Should I stay or should I Yeo? As rival circle. Don't have access to this one, unfortunately. Roo's desperate bid to finally lure big fish with mega bucks. So they're going for, is that Tim Kelly? Da. Darcy Cameron, dubbed as a All-Australian sneak as well. If they go to ruckman this season, I think there's a chance that Darcy makes it. They say Kane Corns has brought that to everyone's attention, but I'd like to point out that I've been talking about Darcy Cameron being one of the best marking ruckman in the league at the moment. The Giants to beat Port, so we jump over them. I like that. Let's manifest that. I thought North wanted to give him a bag. I think so. We don't need Yo. Yeah, probably not worth the risk, to be fair, Paul. Yeah, finals are a slow and contested game, which will suit Mitchell, hence why they aren't too worried about his injury. We'll be primed and ready to go for the finals. Yeah. I'm on the same boat as you, mate. I'm on the same boat as you. What else have we got, guys? Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow. Ultimate Greatness, do you know what time the teams get released tomorrow so I can do a stream for it? Do we know? Is it 6:20 again? Is it a bit earlier? Let me know. We want to go through the teams tomorrow, the final teams, and hopefully we get TJ. Stevenson going to have a good game against his former side. Actually, that's a good thing. Let's have a look at that, Steve. That's a good question. Let me go. Let's have a look at Steve-O's form against the Pies. Jaden Stevenson tables. AFL tables. Jaden Stevenson. And we'll go share screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Here we go here. Yeah. All right. Can you guys see? Let's see his form against Collingwood. He's played 3 games, lost them all. He averages 15 disposals, which is not bad, and 4 goals, 4 behinds. So he's an average player at best when he plays against Collingwood. Well, respectfully, he's an average player. Look at the drop off here. Like Jaden Stevenson averaged a goal and a half in 2019, and he averaged nearly 2 goals a game in 2019 for Collingwood. And since then, I mean, this year he's averaging less than a goal. He averaged a goal and a bit last year. He's been a shell of a man. Chris, our ins on the extended team are Jaff, Reef McInnes, and Ed Allen. So I think when the teams are finalised tomorrow, we will have TJ debuting, and I think Reef McInnes will come in for Bytel, and I think TJ might come in for Oleg Markov. Isn't it the same time? I hope so. Believe in you will achieve. The Yo interest would be from Leper. He coached him while at Brisbane. He'll know if Pie should be keen. Okay, good to know. Good to know. But yeah, these are, and geez, Steve-O had a heck of a 2019 season. Really, 15 touches, nearly 2 goals a game, and a goal assist a game. That's good enough as an elite forward, small forward, or medium-sized forward. He's 6'2", but he has not been able to reach those heights since 2019. Ken, do I think Nick might be rested because of his shin? I don't think so, but if so, I'm not stressed. Honestly, I'm not stressed. More room to give players like Dimatia an opportunity. Ed Allen, if he wants to come in. Reef McInnes as well. So we have not a luxury of availability because we have quite the opposite, but the opportunities that would be available would be for youngsters who are unproven. Not sure on the times. The drug saga got him. Yeah, I mean, that sort of probably sent him sideways. We know he loves a night out. We know that. 19 was the year Stevenson was suspended for the betting too. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I remember that crazy barrel he kicked against St Kilda at the G on like a Saturday afternoon. That was crazy. What a game that was. Remember that like it was yesterday. Stevenson peed in Noble's drink and fell off a bike and got suspended for betting. He also broke his hip. Bad culture, man. Where did you get this Stephen Pete in Noble's drink? Where did you get that from? Tell me. Bring back the Barrel Classic. Yeah. What are your sources there, Digsby? Tell me. Drunk Snorlax. What else have we got? Let's have a look at Wheelo. Let's have a look at Wheelo. AFL. Home. Match previews. North versus Collingwood. The prediction, Collingwood by 44 points. What are your predictions for the game, guys? Is Collingwood going to win? If so, by how much? What's our record? We're 8-2 against North in the last 10. We haven't lost since 2019, where they belted us in 2019, guys, when we made the prelim against GWS. Interesting. I came from the same local club as Stevenson. Where did he play? Because I know he did his cup at, I forget now, damn, Eastern something? I forget. I'm so sorry. Remember the goal he kicked on return against the Cats in 2019 final? I don't, Steve. I don't. Who's heading towards being trade bait at the end of the year? Finlay McRae, probably. Ash Johnson's lost all value, I think. He peed in Noble's Cup. 60 points. I never changed the profile pick. 50 points. Some percentage would help a lot, absolutely. Their midfield does worry me. Jai Simpkin, Luke Davies-Uniacke, George Wardlaw, Harry Sheasel. 53 points, 40 points. FTG Eagles. What does FTG mean, Ultimate Greatness? From the game? 40 points for Classic Collingwood's a fumble percentage boost, then make it a close game, but Pies by 12. Hopefully we don't fumble the percentage boost. That would be nice. A minus 12 differential in contested possessions per game. What else have they got here? Only kicking 9 goals a game. And their scoring shots per inside 50 are very poor. 38% is not good. Collingwood 46 is good. Very good. Furniture Galley Eagles, sorry. I play in the footy school for the Maggies. What do you mean you play in the footy school for the Maggies? What's that? Gamer boy. Tell me more. Tell me more. Who's having... So this is our top players as by rating. So Nick Dacos first, Darcy Cameron second, Jack Crisp third, Scott Pendlebury fourth, Joe Richards fifth. Joe Richards fifth. Who's our leading goal scorers? Brody Myercheck 16, only playing 9 games. Bobby Hill 15, just over a goal a game. 14 for Shooter. Hopefully he can get a couple more. I'm hoping Bobby Hill and Lockie can kick a couple each. I remember the 19 Cats final. Jeremy Howe comes steaming through, goes bang. Yeah, I remember that. Classic final, Jamie Elliott before a heavily interrupted run and just after the back injury of years. Crazy to think Crisp has never been AA. Very true. Very true. Pendle's 300th, I think it was. Okay. Go on, Squiggle. What's Squiggle? What is Squiggle? Is that the AFL ladder predictor? Do you guys want to do an AFL ladder predictor? Is that what you want to do? Let's do a ladder predictor. Let's see. Can you guys let me put it on the screen. Let's do a ladder predictor. Why not? All right. I'm gonna go Brisbane by 16 points. I think the Bulldogs offensively are going to be too strong and they're going to overwhelm the Dockers at the Docklands or Marvel Stadium. Let's go 24. I'm going to go Richmond by 5 points for Dusty 300th. You can't go against Dusty's 300th. Adelaide versus Sydney. You know what? I said Adelaide, right? But I actually think the Swans are going to win by 1. North Melbourne versus Collingwood. Well, we want a handy percentage booster, don't we? 50 points. I'll be happy with 50. GWS versus Port. GWS have been bang average though, no? Let's go GWS by 9. And then moving into the next round, Carlton versus Geelong. Carlton by 33, guys. Port Adelaide versus Brisbane. Let's go Port by less than 3 goals. GWS versus Sydney, huge. And I think GWS is where they start to bounce back. I'm going to go 12 points to the Giants. Melbourne versus North Melbourne. Maybe Melbourne by 44. Essendon versus West Coast at Marvel. Harley Reid will be back by then, I think. So for that, I'm going to go the Bombers by 29 points. Fremantle versus Gold Coast at Perth Stadium. Well, Gold Coast haven't won a game away from Collingwood. So for that reason, Gold Coast haven't won away from home. Yeah, correct. That's what I meant to say. And I think they're going to get their first one. 14 points against Freo. Brisbane versus Melbourne at the Gabba. Brisbane by 38 points. The Doggies by 81 points. Sydney versus Fremantle. Sydney by 8. Gold Coast versus Collingwood. Collingwood by 5 points. Back to the classics. Back to the classic close games. Geelong versus Essendon at the G. Geelong by 14. Adelaide versus GWS in round 16 at Adelaide Oval. Can Adelaide make a late surge for top 8 here? 17 points. St Kilda versus Port. St Kilda by 4 points. Richmond versus Carlton. Richmond by 20. Carlton by 22. West Coast versus Hawthorn. Wow, this will be a banger. So Hawthorn are here at the moment and West Coast there. I'm going to go West Coast Hawthorn by 18 points. G'day, Stav. How you going, mate? You can also just do Collingwood games. Yeah, but then I wouldn't be able to do the other teams, right? And it wouldn't be like an accurate ladder predictor, no? Collingwood versus Essendon at the G. I'm going to manifest something similar to last year where we pumped them late in the year. Collingwood by 50. I think Essendon will lose their legs as the season goes on. North versus Gold Coast at Marvel. I think Gold Coast win their second game away from home. Port versus the Doggies. I reckon Port by 6 goals. Geelong versus Hawthorn. This is going to be a cracker. It's a draw. GWS versus Carlton in round 17. GWS by 4 in the Sydney Showgrounds. Fremantle versus Richmond. 5 goals to Freo. Melbourne versus West Coast. What do we think? Melbourne versus West Coast at the G. 26 points. St Kilda versus Sydney. St Kilda versus Sydney. I think St Kilda could create an upset here and have people start worrying about Sydney's form going into the final series. These Dons haven't proved this year. I doubt their drop comes out early. Maybe. I'm just manifesting it because of our big win last year against them late in the season. Brisbane versus Adelaide at the Gabba. I reckon Brisbane. They're coming. Collingwood versus Geelong. Another close game. Collingwood by 2 points. Hawthorn versus Fremantle. Hawthorn by 38 points. Sydney by 66. Western Bulldogs versus Carlton. Carlton by 3 points. Melbourne versus Essendon. Essendon by just under 2 goals. Adelaide versus St Kilda. I think Adelaide by 9. Gold Coast versus Port Adelaide. Gold Gold Coast with a big win. GWS by 19. Brisbane by 38. Essendon versus Adelaide at the Docklands. I think Taylor Walker kicks a bag. GWS versus Gold Coast. What a game. I think Gold Coast really start to establish themselves here, and they're in the top 4. Imagine that. Gold Coast in the top 4 at the end of round 18. Wow, that would be huge. So where are we at? St Kilda are struggling. Adelaide, they're also a couple games out of the 8, but it's pretty tight from 15th through to 7, right? St Kilda versus West Coast. St Kilda have one of their biggest wins of the year. Ooh, Hawthorn versus Collingwood. Hawthorn versus Collingwood. Guys, I'm going to do it. Hawthorn by 30. I'm going to throw a spanner in the works. I have to. Hey, how do you think Collingwood will go, Chris, Sunday? Do you think Collingwood should rest some players? Maybe if Nick Dacos needs a rest to ice up that shin, get Dimatia, get TJ in, get Ed Allen in, get Reef McInnes in, and get some youngsters who are up and about and want to have big games in a game where we need some energy from the start against North Melbourne, who just won their first game of the year. Geelong versus the Dogs. Geelong versus the Dogs. Yeah, that's a fair call, Digsby. Maybe Sidey gets rest. That's a good point. I don't mind the Hawks loss idea. They're always hungry. Yeah, they are our bogey side, and I think we do have to. We can't be totally biased. We're going to have to throw in a loss here and there for Collingwood. Geelong versus the Dogs. Geelong by 16 in Geelong. Port Adelaide versus Richmond. Port by 6 goals. Brisbane versus Sydney. I think it's going to be a big statement by Brisbane, and they're in the top 6. Fremantle versus Melbourne in Perth. I think Melbourne find some legs late. They regather the troops. Carlton versus North. Why can't I go over here? How do I slide across? Carlton versus Port Adelaide at Marvel. Carlton by a few goals. North versus Geelong. 44 points. Gold Coast versus Brisbane. Brisbane by 1 straight goal. Bytel out, Nick out. Yeah, maybe. Bytel definitely out. St Kilda versus Essendon. I'm going to go St Kilda by 2 goals. Melbourne versus GWS. I think GWS get the job done by 2 points. So looking at the form here, Sydney, Carlton, Collingwood, GWS during the 20th round. And Fremantle, they bounced back from their disappointing loss against the Eagles, and they beat them in the reverse fixture. Collingwood versus Richmond. Collingwood by 29 points. Sydney versus the Dogs. I think this is where we start to find out that the Dogs are pretenders for another year. Adelaide versus Hawthorn. Hawthorn. I think they put Adelaide's season to bed. And Hawthorn are now in the 8. Unreal. Sydney, SCG, the only other loss for the year. Yeah, I will put that in. What's up? Anthony, how you going? What's happening? Yeah, Bytel omitted, Dacos managed, rested. I think that could happen tomorrow. Don't flirt with form. Keep Nick if he passes the fitness test. I think that's what they will do. If he passes the fitness test, he'll play. Collingwood Sydney Grand Final. Fuck, imagine that. Making amends for the 2022 preliminary final at the SCG. Good thing the granny will be at the G. Western Bulldogs versus Fremantle. Melbourne, sorry. I think Melbourne, again, they're climbing. Round 21, West Coast versus Gold Coast. Gold Coast win again. They're still in the top 4. Richmond win they have one of their biggest wins of the season, 59 points. Geelong versus Adelaide. Geelong pump Adelaide and put them well and truly to bed. Don't rest anymore. Don't want to give impression we're taking it easy. They can rest with the bye. Yeah, they'll rest with the bye after North Melbourne. Collingwood versus Carlton. Collingwood, we find our straps. We get some troopers back, and we beat them by 33 points. Port Adelaide versus Sydney. Port Adelaide by 4 points. to keep intact with the top 8 there. GWS versus Hawthorn. I got to go GWS by just more than a goal. They had a close game last week or the week before where Hawthorn just won by a point or something. Essendon versus Fremantle at the G. What a massive game. And this is an elimination final, essentially, or close to. And I think Freo win by a point. St Kilda versus Brisbane. Like I said, Brisbane, they're on the mend. 46 points against St Kilda. Sydney by just over 3 goals for round 22. Brisbane beat GWS by 19 points. West Coast bounced back, and on the reverse fixture, they beat North Melbourne. If it's Pies versus Swans, we've got to watch out for Papley's forward craft. I know, right? Because he was able to out-muscle Darcy Moore, 6'6" beast. I think Blues get their revenge. Hopefully not, because I've tipped the other way. Fremantle versus Geelong. I think in Perth, Fremantle win by 3 points. And Jesus, look how tight that top 8 is. Just some forward craft. Just forward craft, wasn't it? Essendon versus Gold Coast. Wow. I have Essendon falling out of the 8, guys. I have Essendon falling out of the 8. And I'm bringing them back to life. I think round 22 is the second last round. They win by 10 points at Marvel. Melbourne versus Port Adelaide. Essentially another elimination game. And I think we go Melbourne by 10 points. Carlton versus Hawthorn. I think Carlton create another upset and throw another spanner in the works. St Kilda win by 24 points. I think Adelaide win by, they finish on a strong note. And into the final round, guys, of the year, I've got Sydney first, Carlton second. So at this point, we're playing Carlton in an away final at the G. Brisbane are looking to play Sydney in Sydney. GWS are in, Geelong are in, Gold Coast are in, Melbourne are in. Fremantle and Essendon. Essendon are just about out, and I'm putting them to sleep now. They're out. Gold Coast versus Melbourne. So here they're playing for position in the bottom 4 of the top 8. I'm going to go Melbourne by 21 points. I forget that Petrarca's not playing for the rest of the year. Damn. Third place, yuck. Not ideal. But if we can play Carlton to G, I'm not exactly mad. Braz wiping oil off his arm. Carlton got 4 extra players. Reckon we'll beat Swans. They'll be treading water by then. It'll mean more than us to them. We have the better record of the G. Maybe they have their top 2 hopes locked in. And similar to Collingwood, they have a little fallout towards the end of the year. Always, what a flog. Fremantle versus GWS. Fremantle by 1 point. And I think Gold Coast fall out of the 8. Damn. Collingwood, I think Brisbane, they beat us. They beat us, guys, in the last round as well. It takes us to 13-7 and 2 draws. St Kilda versus Geelong. Geelong by 2 goals. Port Adelaide versus Adelaide. I say Adelaide win by 50 points. And it's not enough to get them into the finals. They fall short on percentage. The Doggies, this is a nothing game. I say North, they win a nothing game because they're still going to finish last anyways. Hawthorn versus Richmond. What does this mean in the context of it? Nothing. I think Richmond finished the year on a good note. Maybe this is Dustin Martin's retirement game. West Coast versus Carlton. Carlton by 61 points. Brisbane versus... Oh, round 24, guys. Hold on. We're nearly there. Brisbane versus Essendon. Brisbane by 40. Carlton by 30. Geelong by 29. Hawthorn pump North Melbourne. We beat Melbourne by 30. Gold Coast beat Richmond and say, Dustin Martin, come to Gold Coast. And Sydney versus Adelaide. Sydney win by 30. GWS by less than 2 goals. Fremantle versus Port Adelaide. So this game matters because this basically decides who gets in the top 8. And I think Port Adelaide, they do it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my predicted ladder. Sydney finished first with 5 losses. Carlton second. Brisbane third. Collingwood fourth. So how many more games do I have us losing there? Another 3 more games from here, guys. Is that right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, Brisbane come from nowhere. I think Hawks can make the 8 as well, but they're going to have to win those 50-50 games. Dustin Martin's retirement game where he goes to Gold Coast to retire. No way Brisbane beat us at the G in the last game. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. Where did Brisbane come from? Lol, Brisbane. They come in. They come in hot, guys. They're going to have a hot second half to the year. Collingwood 4th, Geelong 5th for a game at the G against Port. GWS versus Gold Coast. The what do they call these teams? GWS and Gold Coast. What do they call them? The teams that were introduced that were new to the league. I forget, but anyways, you get the point. The 2 newest teams play off in the final. That's a cool story. Melbourne missed the finals. No Christian Petrarca hurts them. Expansion sides, thanks Digsby. The expansion finals, the playoff. Fremantle miss, Hawthorn miss, Essendon. That's my big one. They're my biggest sliders. I think Essendon slide. I'll be looking forward to having a look at this ladder predictor at the end of the year. Last thing we need is our bogey team to make it, and that's why I've got them out of the 8. SCG final, then Gabba, straight sets. Yeah, so if we lose against Sydney and Carlton beat Brisbane, we play Brisbane at the Gabba. That's tough. Some interstate games there that I would not look forward to. Yep, dread. Last thing we need is our burger team. Yeah, exactly. Ooh, straight sets. Could be the case. Guys, I'm knackered and I'm hungry. I'm going to go have some Greek food at a nice little Greek restaurant. What's on the cards for everyone tonight? Yeah, hopefully he does play. Hopefully he does play. Anyways, guys, I'm going to call him. I'm knackered. We'll see you guys tomorrow around the same time, 5:45 for the final teams, and fingers crossed we can see someone like TJ in the squad. So we'll see you guys then. Take care.